Thanks a lot. I'm very pleased to see Eric and Cynthia because we know each other. Obviously, we worked together a few years ago, and now we are testing the Interchem solution. The question you asked the previous guy was excellent because I went to the States, I went to Canada, same thing in Australia. We only are 4 countries in the world who has an ERP model on the chemical industry. So France is one, well, the only one in Europe, but there is one in Canada, one in Australia and the US. And one of the best question was, is there a demand? Is there a market, in fact? Because as you see, the process to recycle painting is quite difficult. You said there is a problem of cost and quality. And for now, I think there is no real market in our developed countries. So it will probably change. It will be a long way. So I'm pleased to contribute to this. But we should all be aware of the fact that if you ask a question, are you ready to buy a recycled paint? They will say yes. And once they are in the store, they will take the brand new paint and not the recycled one. Perhaps it's also a question of how we market it. Okay, as for now, we try to launch brands that are brand with recycled products, and we didn't really try to say what if we put 1% or 2% in all the brands with this material. It's probably one way that we should explore in the future. Okay. Well, you asked me to speak about hazardous waste and the ERP model. So I will probably not only talk about painting. So I have to present first EcoDDS. Do you see the presentation? Hello? Yes, okay. So we were created in 2012 when the French government decided to create this EPR scheme. In France, you probably know that we have many EPR schemes. We have something like 20 EPR models. 20 is probably the higher number in the OECD. So we are sort of a champion of this solution. The question is, why did we set this ERP model for chemical products? Well, there was an announced objective that was to pool efforts at a national level and to entrust the private sector with the task of doing better than what was made before. Okay, there was probably a hidden objective, an elephant in the room, which was to take the cost borne by local authorities and put it on the producers' level. So the question of who pays for the hazardous waste, which are the most the higher price in the waste sector, is also a key. So we had something like 40 pages of government specifications detailing 160 new obligations for the producers, and they had to create this new ERP model. In France, we have manufacturers and distributors. They all pay. Manufacturers are paying for their trademarks and distributors are paying for their own trademarks. Okay. So we set a company, EcoDDS, with on the left you have the industrial, let's say industrial producers, and on the right you have the distributors. Okay. These people were the most concerned about it and wanted really to create this structure. But at the end, we have 800 companies in France that contribute to EcoDDS. We have mainly 7 product categories, and we include the categories that you can say: painting, adhesive, sealing, materials for treatment and coating, solvents, diluents, and also other products. Okay, so it's a quite large ERP model. It's not only focused on painting or coating. To manage that, we decided to set a small team. We are a national company. We take the contributions for 800, and we work with nearly all the local authorities. But we try to have a lean organization. So the EcoDDS team is made of less than 20 persons, 20 persons, sorry, 20 collaborators, and we were lean at the beginning. I think that we are still lean today. We think that the cost generation of this ERP model should not be the team or the management cost of this type of company, but should be concentrated on the cost to treat the waste. One of the key assets we have is that we built an information system. It is obvious that there is no information system on the shelf when you begin an ERP. So, of course, for financial part, you have all you want. But for let's say, the main part of it, we try to build a model where we have a big data repository. We have a container management system. We have collection management system. We have all the tracking management system because we are in hazardous waste, shipping management, and we do the pre-invoicing for our operators. So as we have many data, we do the pre-invoicing for them, and we pay every month what they collected. Okay. And we also have the same for producers, so they can have a single declaration system for the tons they sell each year. So in France, we have something like 10 streams, 9 or 10 streams, depends. You have here all the categories that we collect, but the main part of it is made of 4 products, and it is the pasty, what we call the pasty, or more or less liquid hazardous waste. Mainly painting, 65% of the tons are painting. You can add sealant, you can have coating, so you will get 85% of total tonnage, and all the others are hazardous waste of more small product. So the question we had in 2000, so we begin in 2012. The question we have a few years after is we collect everything as hazardous waste, but in this hazardous waste flow, there are some products that are not hazardous, and especially for the paint. The producers made lots of efforts to have water-based painting. So the problem was that we paid at high cost in a mixed collection for hazardous, and the question was: are we able to separate this non-hazardous waste, and are we able to do something else with it? So it was the same, I think, the same paradigm that AXO and Interchem tried to do in the Netherlands. One of the questions is how many paint manufacturers are on the market. If you see the European market, you have some countries where the market is very concentrated. For instance, in the Netherlands, I think there are 5 big doers in painting. UK, four producers. In France, we have many producers. I think it's the same thing in Italy, for instance. So it's not easy for us to have discussions like you have when you have less producers about what can we do about the waste. If you see the figures there, when we were in 2020, we had semi-solid 40,000 tons. And we said it was an assumption at this date with our hypothesis. If we are able to sort this and to separate this, you will have a part of hazardous, the red one, and you will have 27 tons of water-based semi-solid waste. The other question was, are we able to decondition? And we asked a lot with Interchem about that. They said that they have a semi-manual process. When you have 27,000 tons, it can't be only manual. You have to find a way to decondition all these buckets, because the paint is the main part of the waste we have is liquid, and it is not the packaging. Then you have the yellow part, which is pasty liquid, which is not really liquid. It's something that is old, that is something that is not easy to manage and to decondition. We have a metal part, because the buckets could be in metal or in plastic. So we decided first to concentrate on this packaging and not on the liquid. Okay. This is a slide to show you the huge amount, the huge number of collection points we have. And it's not easy to sort and to ask people to sort when you have more than 3,000 municipal waste collection centers. We also developed a lot in the last years, the collection in stores, because we saw in the US that it was possible. So we imported the idea in France, and we have now a significant number of stores that collect directly, mainly for painting, coating, silence, but also phytosanitary, fertilizers. So this is something that is quite developed now. We begin with less than 1,000 tons, and we are now at more than 6,000 tons of our collection in these stores. Then we collect everywhere, and we group them on 40 hazardous waste sorting grouping platforms. Okay, and some of them, 30 of them, are asked to separate the hazardous from the non-hazardous, which was a big training and building process to help them to do this. Okay, and we are working with 4 major groups. Veolia, of course, with Sarpi, Chimirec, which is a French company, but I think that they are now in Poland and Canada. Séché, which is a big one, and Praxi, which is made of many small companies. The treatment, as for now, is in the hand of little companies, big companies, I mean, but the number of companies is quite small. So you can incinerate in France your hazardous waste in these centers. And to give you an idea, the price of the hazardous waste is 3 times the cost of normal and banal waste. So there is a question of business model here, and this is one of the reasons why we decided to separate and to try to do something else than just incinerate our waste at high cost. So to do this project, we decided to have a normal project with a market analysis and sizing of the market. We worked a lot on the sorting and deconditioning process. We launched this Recupo, which is our facility in the stores to take the waste not only from municipalities, and we worked on the energy recovery and material recovery. Of course, for that you need also a strong business case, and you have many legal aspects we have in France a regulation which is quite complicated. You have to also see what is possible at the European level. So it was a big work to try to see what was feasible technically, but also legally to do this project. At the end, we located an emplacement in near Lyon, in Chambéry, and we put our machine to decondition the water-based paint that has been sorted on the centers I showed before, and we try to separate and to manage to have liquid on one part and metal and plastic on the other part. Then we also separate metal and plastic. So the painting, as you see, arrive there in this center. They go through this machine of deconditioning, and then we have plastic fractions, and they are not on the photo. We also have metal fraction. The metal fraction is quite easy to manage because you will always find people who will take your dirty metal and sell it. Okay. The hard part was the plastic fraction because we had the problem of drying it, but also process the way we will recycle this plastic. And this is the liquid part that we today incinerate at a normal cost, and which is not going at hazardous waste incinerators. With the plastic, which was the main difficult part, we invented a process with a French company. So now we can recycle our plastic, and we also did the manufacture of our collection contents. So you have here all the process, and we deliver these contents to our collection operators. So they collect with these contents coming from the recycled plastic from the buckets, and we did something like 20,000 contents like this for now. So the question is, what can you do with the liquid part? Well, we think that it's very difficult to go to paint. I don't know if AkzoNobel gave figures before. As I said, the market is very difficult. I'm not sure that we are able to sort in France to have 25% of let's say clean liquid to recycle. What I'm sure is that we have some historical waste that are very dirty, they're not very clean. The test we did with Interchem showed that the sorting was very precise. So the part of the pasty liquid that can be recycled was quite small. So we explored other possibilities. One of them is to put some of our painting in concrete. So this works. We now have a challenge to see how we can package this product to bring it somewhere. It's not easy. And the other thing which we are trying now is to transform our liquid into recuperation of titanium dioxide. There is in the painting, there is a material that has a value, which is titanium dioxide. So we are now trying two processes to see if we can extract the titanium dioxide from this liquid. So as you understood, we didn't, at that time in France, we did not go to paint. We tried to do something else with this water-based paint waste. This is the manual process we have in France when it arrives to our operators platform. So you see that it's very manual, and there is also a subject of security of the way people are working on this. So we decided also to try to see if we were able to do a sorting automated platform. And we did it. It was quite long. We took more than 2 years to do this. And you have now the result here. So we have constructed a platform where you have artificial intelligence with a deep learning module that learns to how to sort all these paints coming in. And we are now able to, when you put a bucket somewhere, it will go on the left or on the right, because you have cameras who see what are on the buckets, and automatically put it on the left or on the right. Let's say that the indications that are on the buckets help the system to sort automatically the painting. Here you have the software for that. So as you see here, you have a PPG or AkzoNobel, I don't know, PPG, I think, bucket. And the system says, with a good probability, if it's still dangerous, still hazardous, or if it is something that can be recycled at non-hazardous facilities. Okay, so this is the system. Now we have, this was the prototype that, as you understand, now we exploit the system. And to finish, here is an example of a store in France for professional, where we collect directly the painting waste. So this is all the system we had, because we had so many waste coming that we had to find solutions to automate things and to not treat it as manual as we did before. Thank you for your attention.